Hello, this is just a quick update on the vampire. Those of you that have watched the other videos, I actually managed to get a delivery from China just before Christmas. So I got some 2-gram servos, which I hadn't got previously. That's a 4-gram, which I already have for the elevator. And I've managed to wire up some new what do you call them? 1mm servo plugs, I guess. Anyway, they're the smallest ones you get. So I've managed to do that. That just all needs kind of tidying up a little bit. Where are we? Let's come out a bit. This is for the ducted fan. That just needs soldering onto, I believe, the underside there, one of those 2 brass contacts. I'm pretty sure that's the place for that to go. I've soldered on a battery lead. So I was quite chuffed with that actually, because it actually works. Anyway, so that's that. I've put also, I don't think I mentioned this previously, I've got Doculam under the underside. It's a bit rough in the middle there, but it doesn't matter at the moment. And I'm going to do the whole of the underside of the fuselage with Doculam, just to give it a little bit of a tougher undersurface, because you know it's likely to get, probably going to hit some long stubbly bits of grass or whatever. Anyway, so that's that. There's the tail plane, the 2 tail booms, a couple of push rods for the ailerons. Oh yeah, the ailerons I've hinged with Doculam as well. It's springing up at the moment, but that don't matter. So I like using Doculam for hinges. It works really well. So let's put that to one side. This is my workbench. Okay, so I just thought you might like to see what I have on my workbench. Bit of all sorts, really. And it's always nice to have things that are to hand. So I like to have my files in one place: saws, knives, glue mixing, glass for sherry. Oops. What else have we got there? Yeah, that's all my pens, pencils, etc. Not quite sure what the aromat's there. Move that out of the way. Oh yeah, and of course I've got my taps and dies. And over there I've got all my glues, set of screwdrivers, posi, Phillips and slotted, and a load of Allen keys and hex-headed keys over there. Yeah, of course, obviously when I drilled out the I haven't told you about this yet, have I? Right, let's tell you about this. Okay, so I was a bit naughty because instead of finishing that one, I found a nobler control line aerobatic model kit on eBay. So I've always fancied one, so I got it off eBay, and sourcing an engine wasn't a problem really. I've got about 100 engines in my collection, which perhaps I'll do a video on one day, take you through them. But this is an OS46LA. I've got one free flight Venturian needle valve coming over from America for this. I'm waiting for that. So anyway, to try and save a little bit of weight, this is obviously the standard OS silencer. I rummaged through my collection of silencers and I've created a tongue muffler, and this should save a a bit of weight off the nose of the Nobler. So this was basically, I'm not even sure what make of silencer it was. I don't think it was an OS. Could have been a Cavan. There was no markings on it. Anyway, so basically what I did was to cut off the cylinder section and just to leave the stub. Now obviously on the standard OS ones it's not a hugely long stub, but on this one it's just about the right size. So overall it's just under 2 inches, which should be okay for putting in the kit. So basically I cut off the cylinder at an angle, and I've used the metal epoxy putty stuff to create a new angled down end of the tongue. Now the OS exhaust port is probably just over half of that overall distance, that width there. The exhaust port on the cylinder only goes from about there to there. This is kind of nothing coming out this side from the cylinder. So the overall area of this exhaust outlet on the cylinder was 140 square mil. So I've gone down to about 80 square mil on that, judging that only half of it is needed. Could be wrong. So that gave me 10 3mm holes, which works out at, by the time I've wiggled them around a bit, somewhere about 75 square millimeters of outlet. So should be okay. We shall see. And of course, I'm going to stick this in the test bed and run it. I haven't run it yet. So the exhaust at the moment is deflecting down. When it's in the Nobler, the engine's going to be inverted. So all I have to do is spin that one up the other way and deflect the gases down and out. That's the theory. Will it all hold together? I have no idea. We shall have to wait and see. I did have to fill and drill out a new hole so that it fitted the, I can't remember what the distance was now. I did have it somewhere. Anyway, I had to fill and drill one of these mounting holes for the muffler and tap it. That's my tap there. And that's it really. And then I sprayed it with high temperature black paint. So I think I'm quite chuffed with that. Now if that all holds together, I'll be well pleased. But I'll get that in the test stand probably next week and give it a whiz. I'll show you the Nobler kit one day. It's an old one. And there we go. Right. Happy New Year to everyone.